All right, boys, we are live, and this is the final semifinal bout going into the finals tomorrow. And Georgie, some would say this probably, no offense to Dave Weaver, who's in the finals tomorrow, but some would probably say that this should be the finals matchup because we've got the two heavyweights who've been dominating thus far. What do you think, Georgie?
Yeah, I know a lot of times in either basketball or sports, there's one division that's so much stronger than the other division. And you always say, hey, even though this is not the finals of the NBA championships, this is really what's going to determine the winner. And I think this division is the toughest. And we got two of the toughest, the best handicappers who really brought it through this championship. And I think that whoever wins today has got a good chance of taking that dime home and being crowned the first ever Charity First champion.
Yeah, I got to tell you guys a quick story. Even this morning on my way into work, my dad called me and he said, are you guys live today? Is it Tyler and Chris? And I said, yeah. And he said, all right, I got to make sure I tune in today even more than tomorrow because these are the two best handicappers. I hope Dave Weaver's watching this. We've been ripping him for the last 1 minute already. But anyways, this is the Charity First Handicapping Challenge. We've been going on for basically since the start of the meet, George, and we've made a lot of money. Why don't you tell everybody what we're doing and what's going on so far?
Yeah, this has been such a this was an experiment, really. Let's see what happens. Let's give it a shot. Oh my goodness, it's been so well received. We've raised 11 grand for a charity, giving people wonderful insight into horse racing. And as all indications are that when the meet continues and the when you open the first day after Christmas, Santa Anita, that we're going to continue with this kind of a tournament. So it's just been fantastic. All the money that's raised here goes to charity like Karma or the PDJF. Each of our handicappers every day of the tournament get $300 a piece. They get to bet 100 to win, 100 in an exacta or an exacta box, and 100 in a daily double or daily double part wheel. And like I said, it's raised 11 grand. A lot of money for charity, and people, they just love it.
Well, you might as well go ahead and introduce your player right now. He's been thoroughly dominating. I actually think he's the money leader on the board thus far. So go ahead and introduce your guy, buddy.
Yeah. Oh, man. Chris is one of my favorites for years. Always does all his homework. One of the reasons I definitely wanted him on his show is because this is a man who really knows his craft, who takes his time, studies, gives you some insight. A lot of times you're not going to get from just regular run-of-the-mill handicappers. He's wonderful, and he personally is responsible for over $5,000 of the money that we've raised for charity. So he's a home run hitter, man, and he's the only one left standing from Team Georgia. Oh, I lost like 6 out of 8, but Chris has been the shining star for me. Chris, welcome to the show, and you're going up against a tough competitor. I got to say, Tyler, ridiculous. This is not an easy draw. You drew the toughest division. How you feel, champ? How you feel?
Let me tell you what. I am so glad that I'm going against Tyler.
Oh.
And you know why? Because we are really good friends. I mean, ever since the days that back at San Diego, we used to just bump into each other and exchange notes. We've always been good friends. So even today, if it's a competition, I know at the end of the day, we'll still continue to exchange notes and always exchange ideas. So, well, for the next 30 minutes, buddy, friendship aside, we're going for charity.
Oh, I love it. So Tyler, first of all, Tyler is with tripnopros.com, and I got to tell you guys, their info is second to none. I think you could talk a little bit more about it and explain what it is, but these guys put in the work, and they deliver, and it's more than just a tip service. It's nothing to do with that. So Tyler, tell everybody, first of all, some of your tournament accomplishments because they run long, and then tell us quite a bit about Trip No Pros and where people can go to get your info.
Yeah, so obviously I've been a part of the game since the day I was born. I think the first time my dad took me to the track, I was like 4 weeks old. So I have a picture with him and my grandpa holding me right in front of the escalator in front of the grandstand. we recreated the photo when I was 18. So Santa Anita is a very, very special place to me. I love this game for a variety of reasons, most of which is just the camaraderie and the friendships you build. What Chris just mentioned, you get to meet friends, out there that you never would have met otherwise, and you form, friendships outside of the racetrack, and it's a great way to not only socialize but to learn something and to be a part of something that's bigger than yourself. The tournament scene is something that I've become very, very passionate about. It's mostly due to the fact of my father and my uncle, who have long played on the tournament scene long before I was even eligible for tournaments. I became a part of their tournament team, and we played everything together. Myself, I've taken down the Santa Anita Survivor Championship when I was 18. That's the one everyone knows me for and what I was famous for, if you want to call it famous. But after that, it's been the live money tournaments, and we've had success taking down a couple of $500 tournaments, as well as the recent Santa Anita Derby Championship, which we took home about 36,000 or so in that one. So there've been countless other ones, but those are kind of the two that I'm most famous for. In regards to Trip Note Pros, it's a business venture that my partner Benny Southstreet and I embarked on back in, we'll call it late April, early May. The idea behind it was to provide handicappers with a method to save them time when watching race replays. So essentially, we're doing all the hard work for you. We're analyzing the tape and explaining exactly what happened. We're giving you more than the 30-character limit that the Daily Racing Form or Brisnet, whatever publication you use to handicap, and really describe the trip and help try to piece things together, maybe explain why there are certain equipment changes that are going on, one way or the other, raises or drops in class, good performances or bad performances, and just trying to help add another tool to one's repertoire. We're really not a tout service by nature. And thus far, it's been really, really successful. And I hope, Chris, I can speak for you. You've been a loyal Trip No Pros member since the beginning. And I know you really, really like the product, as does Dave Weaver and Michelle Yu. So, I mean, TNP's got their fingerprints all over this championship.
I love it. And Chris, tell us a little bit what you use in the arsenal besides the Trip Now Pros. Obviously, you do a lot of work, and it's already shown you've made over 5 Gs so far. So you're a very good handicapper. What kind of plays and what kind of thoughts do you go into? Are you sheets guy, or are you trip notes, or watching replays? How you do it, buddy?
Yeah, so pretty much it just relies on like Tyler said, the Trip Notes Pros information, a lot of information such as the handicappers report clocker and trip information that they subscribe to for each meet. XBTV, RTN for all the replays. I mean, RTN now has dominated my apartment. I mean, I don't ever choose another channel outside of, baseball or basketball games or football. It's always RTN that's always on. And then Formulator and Time from US. I mean, I cannot play the horses every day without Formulator and Time from US. So those are some in the arsenal. But in the end of the day, I mean, even Tyler would say it, you have to learn how to construct your bets, correctly. You can pick winners, but if you cannot construct your bets in a way that you can maximize your opinion, then, it doesn't mean anything. You just have to, sometimes you have to push it all in the best opinion and see what happens.
Well, Georgie and I are guilty as charged on that end. And George, even though we're not playing today, I know you've gotten into the trip notes too now, but of course you're a big sheets guy, right?
Yeah, I love the sheets, and they've been, once I was turned on to them, been ridiculously successful. Thoroughgraph, the Thoroughgraph at thoroughgraph.com, I get the sheets, and Thoroughgraph sheets to me have really, they incorporate so many different aspects to their numbers. So I think it's a wonderful thing. But like as Chris says, it's how you bet them that counts. When Chris won, I was with my son. And I said, man, Chris just crushed it. He won like $3,000. He's the man. And my son turns to me, did you bet what he said? I said, no, I didn't bet it. He said, well, next time you bet what he does, okay, Dad? I was like, okay. So a lot of pressure on you today, Chris. My son is all over me to bet on whoever you bet on today.
And
we're ready to go.
Chris, one thing before we get started too, that you guys will both attest to, when you have an opinion, you stick by it. For instance, Chris's big play that he made all the money last time was not only betting on a horse that went off at 6-1, but every bet did not include Lavender, who was the 3-5 favorite. And you didn't throw it in because, oh, the public likes this, or I might need to use it. you stuck with your guns. That's why you made a bunch of money. You're going to get beat occasionally, but you have an opinion. You can't listen to what the outsiders say. You got to go with that opinion, and sometimes you're going to get beat, but that's how you beat the people day in, day out, right, Chris?
Yeah. So, I got, a lot of people send me private DMs like, how did you avoid Lavender, who was like 2 to 5 or 3 to 5? And I just said, when you look at the race, and I told Tyler this after the race, was just that his last win was a complete setup. I mean, you have that fast horse that ran in that stakes race, the Autumn Miss, who went out there and set a 45 and change half mile. She's like second to last, and all she did was rally to win by a half length, and didn't earn a great speed figure doing it. So when she came back in that starter allowance, I just said, well, there's no way that this race is going to set up the same way that she got last time out. And I just said, well, throw her out. And if you throw her out and she doesn't hit the board, you're going to make money. And so even today, in one of my key plays that I give out, there's going to be one horse that, that's going to get attention based upon the connections, that has a win in the last start, and I'm not using it. So if it hits and we do it, then we do well for the charity. And like Georgie said, it's just like sometimes you have to take a look at it and just say, hey, I'm going to get beat sometimes, but then when I hit that score, I'm going to outweigh all those losses.
I think, over the years, what I've learned is you're not going to make money in this business by grinding it out, race after weight, getting 420 and all that stuff. You're going to miss a lot of times. You got to get paid when you're right and it hits. You got to get paid. And that's what I think makes a difference between a winning horse player or not. Those people who just try to somehow grind it out, you got to get a big score to make up for the losses, big score, make up for the losses. And, if you got an opinion, you got to go for it. And many times I've been guilty of wavering. Oh, man, he's 3 to 5. Somebody knows something. And, I get swayed into that. And then I'm like, oh, man, the one I liked won. And I got talked out of it by myself, basically. So when you feel something, you got to swing for the fences.
And I think the hardest mindset about all of it is that in this game in particular, it's better to be right 1 out of 10 races and make it count than be right in 9 out of the 10 races with all chalk.
Yeah,
that's a very hard mindset because you're going to fail 90% of the time.
Yeah. And no doubt about it. And then another thing that's important is, like you said, once again, that's watching those replays and seeing that they went 45 and change, how the race set up, taking your notes and believing in it instead of opening the forum and go, oh, yeah, horse crushed first time Peter Miller last time out. This horse is really, without watching and learning and seeing the setup, or maybe a horse getting in trouble or whatnot, and watching it yourself. I'm very visual that way. That's the only way you're going to make the money. And like you guys said, having a horse that at a price and having conviction and going after it.
Speaking of conviction, Chris Adu, convince me. You got $100 to win on one horse today. Who are you going with and why?
Yep. So we're going to go to Santa Park race number 3. So this is a race where I'm going to be throwing out the morning line favorite, City Rage. He had an absolute perfect trip last time out, sitting second. And then when he was able to make the lead, he didn't really pull away late because the field was well bunched at the wire. I believe the first 5 place finishers were separated by less than 3 lengths at the wire. So I'm going against City Rage, and I'm going to put all my eggs in one basket again on number 6, Liberal. So Liberal in his last 3 starts has not seen the winner's circle. But when you look at the company lines that this horse has kept, you can see that this race today is actually a big class drop. So back on August 7th, he ran second behind Scarto, who ended up winning a non-winners of 1. And then last Sunday ran second behind Smooth Like Straight in the Twilight Derby.
You're welcome for the exacta, Chris.
Oh yeah, we questioned that exacta pretty good. And then last 2 starts back on September 5th, he caught a paceless field because the horses that ran 1, 2, 3 ran 1, 2, 3 all around the racetrack, where Cupid's Claw came back and won the Tokyo City. And then last time out, made a kind of split the field, made a decent run, but caught in traffic going to the top of the stretch. And they actually finished the last quarter of a mile at 23.11 seconds behind Cali Caliente, who has won 3 of his last 4 starts. I think today there's going to be sufficient amount of early speed with Never Easy, Dr. Troutman going for the front end, City Rage all forwardly placed. And so what I think what will happen is that those horses will set up perfectly for number 6, Liberal. So $100 to win on number 6, Liberal.
All right, excellent, excellent handicapping, excellent insight. Thank you so much, Chappie. It's over to you.
All right, so I got so much confidence, my man. So Tyler, before we start talking a little too much trash after we hear what else Chris is playing, what's your $100 win play, buddy?
So I have 2 questions. Well, I guess one question first. Chris's bankroll starts at 0 today, right? He doesn't get to start with the 5,000 that he's already made. Right? That means absolutely nothing, right?
Who's saying, baby?
Okay, just making sure. So with that being said, I'm going to go to San Diego Park race number 5. There's really only one horse I like on the card today. And I'm going to preface this by saying, not only do we do trip notes on horses, we do trip notes on people. So I went back and I did a little trip note watching on Chris for the way he's been playing the contest the last couple of years. And I've noticed Chris likes to take one horse and he wants to attack it in the exacta, the double, the win bet. So everything's going to be keyed around Liberal, I know. So I can't nitpick around the edges today. I got to be aggressive if I want to go and compete with him. So with that said, I'm going to take the exact same strategy because there's only one horse I like on this card today anyway. And we're going to go to the number 6, NK Rocket Man. So the reason for this is I absolutely hated the ride last time. Kind of broke slow, was rank. JJ Hernandez was fighting with the with NK Rocket Man down the backstretch, was tossing his head about, kind of got him in between horses, just was never comfortable. Catches the exact same field today, and they removed the blinkers. And I think that the equipment change is significant because this one didn't seem to really like having the blinkers on. They've been looking for some sort of equipment change to wake this one up. Moves from an inside post position to an outside post position. And I think that's going to be the difference today to turn the tables. So we're going to go San Diego Park, race number 5, $100 to win on number 6, NK Rocket Man.
All right, so race 5. He's studying the horses and the players, his opponents. I love it. I knew he'd put it. He's probably been up since till like 3 a.m. So the 6 NK Rocket Man for a trainer that is sneakily very, very good and under the radar, and that's Dean Peterson. So that's our 100 to win bet. Georgie, let's get to the exacta, buddy.
All right, we're probably going to be looking for a different race than the 3rd for the exact, I'm pretty sure. I don't think he's going to stick with the same race, I don't think. But let's say you got $100 exacta, Chris. Where are you going with it?
No, Georgie, we're going to stick to the 3rd race because like Tyler says, he knew my strategy studying before today. So I'm going to stick to the same strategy. That's it. So I'm going to play against the favorite, like I talked about, City Rage, and I'm going to use the horse going from dirt to turf, number in an exacta box, number 2, Renamo. So Renamo actually won 2 of his last 4 starts, with that second being on opening day at Del Mar where he moved early. Last time out, he threw a dud. He finished 7th in his first start versus non-winners of One Company back on September 5th. But that race really didn't develop well for horses coming from off the pace because the horses that ran 1, 2, 3, cross the wire 1, 2, 3, all ran 1, 2, 3 around the racetrack. So it's really a merry-go-round race. Now he goes to the turf. And the one thing I was looking and formulated was how this horse's dam has done with turf horses. And she's produced a horse called Wagon Boss, who has won 3 of 30 starts with 13 combined seconds or thirds, including a route win. And so I think this horse will handle the surface switch just fine, gets first time Alberto Rispoli in the irons. And I think this is a good logical exacta play to beat the favorite City Rage. So I'm going to play a $50 exacta box, 2 and 6.
All right, 2, 6. So you got your Liberal with the Little Red Feather runner, Renamo. And we're going to be running away from this field. We're going to be Renamo when we hit this exacta and the win. Oh, man. We're going to have such a big lead. Go ahead, Chappie.
So, Tyler, if Liberal does whiff today, and we move on to your choices, are you going all eggs in one basket in the 5th as well, or what are we doing on our exacta, buddy?
I am. We're going to go all eggs in one basket in the 5th, and the only thing Chris will be running away from is out of bets by the time. Okay, so that's first and foremost. So yeah, for the exacta bet, we're going to take the same strategy, but we're going to be even more aggressive than Chris. We're going to play it one way. So there's, in my opinion, there's really only two logical horses that I'm looking at to finish in the exacta. And I'm going to take $50 one-way exactas with NK Rocket Man on top of number 2 Master Ryan, who likes to run second to everybody, as well as number 4 Count Alexi. Now, I know I leave out the first-time starter for Doug O'Neill, that Umberto Rispoli hops aboard, and that is the other danger in the exacta. If George would let me play $25 exactas with all three and then double with one more, that's what I would like to do, the way I would like to attack the race, but I'm told I can't do that. So we're just going to focus in on the two logical contenders that have already shown racing experience and hope that they finish underneath NK Rocket Man. So $50 one-way exactas, NK Rocket Man number 6 on top of number 2 Master Ryan and number 4 Count Alexi.
All right, $50 exacta one way, and I am going to blame George. In the 11th hour, I tried to change a couple of the bets, and he yelled at me. It was via text, but I could tell the way he texted, he was yelling at me that we couldn't change it. So 6 with the 2-4. Right now, all the eggs in one basket, NK Rocket Man. Georgie, it is on to the double. Take it
All
away.
right. Before we get to the double, I do want to say a couple of things. I want to thank everybody who had a cutout, like my girl right here, and the cutout was in the winner's circle. It was all the money went to charity, and thank you guys so much for that. Also, I want to mention that the Breeders' Cup is coming right around the corner, and you know what? A lot of times, like me particularly, I'm really concentrating on my home track, and that's where most people have a benefit in their home track. But when the Breeders' Cup, you got horses coming in from everywhere, and it is essential to have trip notes, and it's hard to come across those. But I understand that you guys at Trip Note Pros are going to have some special packages for the Breeders' Cup in both English and Sábado Domingo in Spanish as well. Is that right?
Word is out. Yes. We're going to have full trip notes. We're going to sell them for $25 a cart, both Friday, November 6th and Saturday, November 7th. They will encompass all the undercard races. And yes, they will be in both English and Spanish. So Benny and I are really, really excited about it. We've already started working on it. We'll sleep probably November 8th, but we can't wait for the Breeders' Cup. I think like everybody else, we're so excited for the 2 days of our sport for the championship season, and it should be a terrific event. I believe Keelan is going to do a terrific job with it.
Very nice.
All right. Chris, come on, baby. Daily double. You're probably going to start in race 7 or 6 or 7, right? For the daily double. Where are you going with that daily double and why?
No, we're starting race 2.
Oh, what a shot.
We're moving all in on liberal. And, before I give out the double, anyone watching, the $25 for the Breeders' Cup trip notes that Tyler and Benny are going to do is well worth the money. You want to get, because you're going to get a lot of information from everyone else. What they do is that they would tune out the information and give you to you in a subjective way. So when it goes on sale, make sure you guys get it.
I second that beyond.
I heard
That
it.
is the best money you'll ever spend, because
Yes.
once people haven't looked at it, once you look at it, you'll know what we're talking about. There's so much info in there, and these guys are so sharp. That's the easiest $25 you'll ever spend. That's for sure.
Yep. So back to the double. So I'm going to try to beat Flash Magic, who's already lost at 3-5 on September 27 and was a 2-1 second choice behind her monster stablemate, Princess Noor. So I'm going to try to beat her because she's getting a lot of action. She's a half sister over to Good Magic, which everyone sees that already. And I'm going to go for 2 other horses in the double. So number 5, Beautiful Gift, is actually ran 3rd in her debut, but look who was 2nd, Calypso. Calypso won the Nokia Stakes on Sunday. The winner of that race, September 5th, ran 2nd behind Calypso. So the race has already proven to be productive. The horse is a half to Shitu, who actually won the Sunland Park Derby with a 103 buyer speed figure at 1 mile and 1/8. So we know that she's bred to go long, being by McDagger de Oro. And the good thing is, if you go to XBTV, you can see back on October 2nd, this horse worked in company with Fosteria, who actually ran 2nd behind Private Mission, earning a 73 buyer speed figure on October 2nd workout. So I'm going to use number 5, Beautiful Gift. And I think the speed of the race belongs to number 2, Park Avenue, who was involved in that very hot speed duel back on September 27th and then kind of quit late. But I think with those 2 quick workouts, drawing the rail with Rispoli, you might see this horse go gate to wire. So in my double, $50 daily double, I'm going to play it 2 and 5 with 6.
Wow, 2 and 5 with 6 for Liberal, and we're gonna have so much money after the third race. I'm gonna be smoking. I'm gonna take out my cigar, the victory cigar, start smoking it like the Dodgers are gonna do. Congratulations to the Dodgers. We're gonna be smoking that cigar, Chris. Getting ready for you to take down that dime in the finals, and I love it. I love this competition.
So he's already got Liberal winning, and it's the World Series is 1-1, and he's already congratulating the Dodgers. Boy,
You feel like a mush, George.
it could be Georgie Mush today, that's for sure.
Like mush, you guys.
Wow. I'm betting against Liberal, and I'm going to bet Tampa Bay on the money line tonight. So,
If a Cubs fan, you would.
I got 2016 still. So Tyler, go ahead. What are we doing with our double, buddy?
So with our double, before I should talk about the double, if I'm not mistaken, I think Chris and I just gave everybody the pick 5 today. It's the all button in the first. It's the 2-5 in the second. Liberal is a single in the third. My double, I'm going to give you the 2 horses in the fourth here, and then you can single NK Rocket Man. I think it's like $10 for 50 cents.
There we go.
Play it 10 times.
There you go. So for our double bet for Team Chappie, we're going to start in San Diego Park, race number 4. And we're going to take 2 horses into NK Rocket Man. The one I like the best is the outside runner, number 6, Pretty Saley. And the reason for this is just a classic blinkers off angle. Speed and fade in both of her first 2 career races, not showing much finish. Today they take the blinkers off. A lot of times this type of an equipment change with a young horse like this will just kind of help her, see things around her, and all of a sudden she'll get newfound confidence. There's absolutely nothing to beat in this field. Yep. She still should be the quickest on paper, even with the blinkers coming off today. Only 2-1, which is not very sexy in terms of a price, but does seem very, very logical. So that'll be one of the runners that we use. The other one will be the number 2 horse, Ishka Baha, the first-time starter for Richard Baltus, for the simple reason that she hasn't proven she's a bum. The rest of this field hasn't shown a whole lot of ability to run yet. This one's got a little bit of pedigree at a Constitution. The Constitution first-time starters have run traditionally pretty well over the last 2 years. Turned into be a pretty good sire. Workouts are okay. There's nothing special or flashy about it. I don't have a clocking report or anything that's telling me that, this is the second coming of anything. But in terms of this field, there's nothing to beat. And if this one shows any type of ability, should certainly be there near the finish. So we're going to play $50 doubles with number 2, Ishka Baha, and number 6, Pretty Saley, to the number 6 horse in race 5, NK Rocket Man.
All right, so 2-6 with the 6. Georgie, both of our guys basically got most of the eggs or almost all of them in one basket. Go ahead.
There's going to be one modification because in the second race, Park Avenue just scratched. So
here it is. He wants to change his bet.
Well, he has to.
Do a $100 straight double between the 5 and the 6.
Okay.
All right. Good catch there, buddy. Good catch. All right, $100 double with the scratch. So that just makes.
I think you should have had to play with 250. I don't think you should be looking at scratches while we're live right now. That's what I think.
No, Elliot Honecker, thank you.
that just made
our big 5 ticket just got even cheaper. I think it's $5.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That just makes it cheaper.
That didn't happen.
George, and just in case of the rare chance we have the tie and we have to go into the tiebreaker, you did win the rock, paper, scissors this morning that we did. So Chris gets to go first. So we are going to go to the last race with the full field of maidens. So go ahead, Georgie.
All right, go ahead. You got a bunch of first-time starters there. Who's your pick for the tiebreaker there to go into the finals in case you both tie?
Yeah, so you know what? I'm going to go with a first-time starter in here. Number 2, Our Little Tiger. And the reason why I'm going off this horse is because of strictly pedigree. Smiling Tiger is a very good, versatile sire on both dirt and turf. But then this horse is by Julio's Gold out of a brother Derek Mare. And then this dam won 5 of 21 starts, with the best speed figure from 5 starts was sprinting on the turf. And that's exactly what Our Little Tiger is doing today, is sprinting on turf. So, with the underrated connections, the tiebreaker goes to number 2, Our Little Tiger.
All right, so he's got our little tiger. Of course, the tiebreaker means if you guys both happen to be tied, just whoever beats the other person moves on in the finals, which is tomorrow at 10:30 against Dave Dreamweaver, who's chomping at the bit to win that $1,000 for himself and all the money for charity. Tyler, where are you going in the last?
Chris, you're so good at analyzing the race. I almost forgot this whole field is first-time starters. You made me think that was a new idea you came up with in this. The whole field, there's only 2 horses that have run before. I'm going to go with the outside runner, number 8, Westward Breeze. And the only reason is because that's the best jockey in this field. None of these firsters in here are showing much on the pedigree standpoint. Carla Gaines obviously isn't the greatest first time out, but the only win she does was with Umberto. And it was at Delmar going 5 furlong sprint on the turf. So why not try that again?
All right, so 2 against the 9. And I'll let George take us home. I got to take a sip of water real quick. Georgie, go ahead and take us home, buddy.
All right, I want to thank both of you for all your great work throughout this competition. You guys were both wonderful. The insight you brought today was just stellar. Thank you both. We wish both of you can go on to the finals. I believe this is the final right here. But whoever does go on, it's going to be an epic final tomorrow. So congratulations to you so far. And I wish you both the best of luck. And one of you will be back tomorrow. Thank you guys so much. And good luck.
Thanks, guys. We'll catch you tomorrow.
Thank you.